right, Adam Fronsee, it's humans, it's Eldrazi Tron. One of them you're very familiar with in Eldrazi Tron, the other not so much, but maybe we will begin to become familiar with this humans deck. It's looked very, very good on camera, third time here for Collins Mullen. And we'll see if this deck can actually take down E-Tron too. We watched him destroy Storm.
Yes.
We watched him make his way by Affinity. And we'll see if Eldrazi Tron can do it. It's an Expedition map off of an Urza's power plant here for Fronsee. In Ether Vial, excuse me, is exactly where Collins Mullen is going to start. Starting things off with an unclaimed territory. It's a waste, blowing up my turn 3 Tron dreams.
Still haven't gotten it.
Still haven't gotten it on my bingo board.
I basically have no skin in this.
No?
No.
No poison counters to be had. Yeah, I don't think you have any skin in the game here.
I'm dry.
Well, I'll take what I can get. A Vial activation here. That's going to put a Champion Parish on the battlefield. We're going to follow things up maybe with a Freebooter. Yes, we are. So there will be a trigger, 2 of them, in fact. 1 for Champion, 1 for the Freebooter. Fronsee going to take a look at the Kitesail Freebooter. Collins wants to get a good look at Adam Fronsee's hand. We'll see if he's given the opportunity to do so. You see a couple Thought-Knot Seers there for Adam. 3 of them to be blunt, along with a Matter Reshaper and a Walking Ballista. Fronsee's going to sacrifice this Expedition map right now. Going to save each other a little bit of time. And I think he's going to search up an Eldrazi Temple, truth be told, so he can cast the Thought-Knot Seer next turn. Make things real easy on Collins, unless the Freebooter can select a land.
I don't know. This is actually information he's giving off here.
Yeah.
I think maybe Mullen is just assuming that he's getting Eldrazi Temple anyway, but if he had in his head like, he's just going to go get a Tron piece and cast Matter Reshaper next turn, you know.
Yeah, that's off the table now. Well, he had to have selected something with the Freebooter, so we're going to pause the game.
Yes, the Freebooter just whiffed there.
All right,
it's not actual Mesmeric Fiend.
All right, never mind. Our mistake there. Thalia's Lieutenant, Noble Hierarch, couple of lands. I guess it might be too good if it was just flat Mesmeric Fiend.
Also, like you want to make a tribal set, you want to encourage creatures. Maybe don't make this ubiquitous 4-of disruptive thing really good against creatures.
Never mind. Never mind.
I mean, you can do it if you want to, but it doesn't really promote the things that you want the block to be about.
Sure. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
Also, it's not like the Pirates are really straining for that dimension with Faceless Butcher Control Magic split card as one of their marquee payoffs. You know.
Here comes Noble Hierarch. It's going to get a counter. Champion of the Parish is now a 3/3. Thalia can slide through the Vial here. See how Collins wants to attack here. He can just attack for 2 in the air with the Freebooter, 1 in the air plus 1 Exalted, or he can come in with the Champion. So this would be an attack for 4. And then if Adam does block, Vial in the Thalia. I like this one. Give the opponent an opportunity to make a mistake. No blocks.
Yeah, too risky of a block here.
Yeah. And you know what? Get your extra point of damage too. No need to get cute. So that's an attack for 5. Fronsee going to fall down to 15. Power plant the draw. Could see a Ballista on 2 here. Wouldn't be so bad. Could take care of Noble Hierarch and Thalia. Ballista has a very high ceiling in this matchup.
Yep.
That's for sure. That's a Matter Reshaper. This is just a Ballista for just for 1. We have seen with Fronsee as he attacks here with the Thought-Knot Seer. we have seen with Adam when he has played earlier on camera, he is not afraid to block immediately with Matter Reshaper.
Yeah, and especially in a spot like this where if you have a walking ballista, you have something to do with your mana. You don't really need spells anymore. All you just need is material to work with. So I would imagine a very quick chump block here in the event that it's just an attack with Champion of the Parish.
Quick block there with Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, he might not get another opportunity to chump block with that Hierarch with Fronsee having access to walking ballista. And if he's good on mana with his Vial, then might as well save the points when you can.
Time for Collins to draw. I think it may have been your good friend Reflector Mage.
Was it a Manus Rider?
Either 3-drop's good.
Yeah,
I will say
for
that.
sure.
Basic planes. Now here is Mantis Rider. So the Champion of the Parish is going to grow.
Just attack with everything here.
Yeah, it's pretty clean attack. Looks like Ballista's going to take care of Thalia. Matter Reshaper is going to jump in front of Champion of the Parish, explicitly to die. So
Just
there will
a
be a
cycle.
trigger. Yep, there's a tower.
Nice. Good hit there for Fronsee.
Yep. Now we're going to go over to Adam. He'll draw a card. Another Temple. This will be a Matter Reshaper. That'll be a Thought-Knot Seer. Just a land in here. This Thought-Knot can come in and attack. So Mullins is going to fall down to 15. But Mullins has got kind of superiority in the air.
Yeah, you know, Fronsee's definitely drawing to his big plays in the spot,
Yep.
but Mullen with that Champion of the Parish has done a good job of being the bigger deck on the battlefield so far and trying to not give Fronsee the time to get to his big plays.
This is kind of what you mentioned, Nick. He needed to get a good clock going. He's done that. His freebooter missed, which is okay. But now he's got a Mantis Rider in the air as well, so he can attack here for 4 in the air at least. And if he's finding Lords, which unfortunately for him, he lost his Thalia's Lieutenant, he can close his game out in 2 turns.
And I don't think I would attack with Champion of the Parish here, just the Flyers, because Fronsee's already shown a commitment to, you know, try to chump block with Matter Reshaper and generate material. And now you have your 5/5 on defense against his 4/4s.
Yep. So racing is kind of off the menu. As Fronsee falls down to 7. Well, we know that Fronsee has another Thought-Knot Seer in hand, so he's going to play that. There's Thalia. Expedition map. It's going to cost 2 because of the Thalia. And then he can crack that to get the 3rd piece of the Tron, and then he's got real big draws.
I'm not sure if he would want to go get, maybe in the spot you want to get Seagate Wreckage. You can kind of cast anything. I suppose completing Tron has you drawing to 1 copy of Ulamog, which you can't do otherwise.
Well, he's brought the Seagate Wreckage forward. So
I don't know if he has enough time to draw a card and then do something with it if he doesn't draw a Haymaker next turn. If the Seagate Wreckage can't draw him something impactful, then you might as well go get Complete Tron, so Ulamog is now part of the range of draws that you have the next turn.
yeah, the other thing too is that if he completes Tron and he draws Ballista, he's in really good shape too.
Yeah, that's the other part
That's
of it.
the other piece that I really like. I don't think he's got time to basically draw another card because he's going to fall down to 3.
Yeah, he's going to go to 3, -1.
Yeah.
So that Seagate Wreckage, you had to have the mana to spend to do something really good to justify it.
That's my biggest concern. And if he had Tron online already, then sure, search for Seagate Wreckage. But I think I would have wanted to complete there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the draws are that are cheap enough to be impactful in the event that he doesn't complete Tron. The one Basilisk Collar is not bad. That might get you a turn, and then you're redrawing again. All of your 7s are good because you just cast it naturally.
I do like attacking with Matter Reshaper. It's free.
It's not
Free. Yeah, it's not totally free.
It's not free because it allows Mullen to attack with the Champion to Perish and get a card off one of your Thought-Knot Seers.
Yeah, it's not totally free. I tried to stop myself there. And Colin's high enough that he's just going to take the damage.
Yeah. I don't know, it's close. I think I would err on no attacks here with the Matter Reshaper, but
if he's attacking with it, he very obviously wants to have it killed, so I would not block. Like, the life total's high enough. If Fronsee drew all his dust, he'd be dead anyway for an attack 415. So, if he held back and he drew all his dust, he'd kill you with kill all your stuff. So I would just take the 3 damage.
I basically think that Fronsee has some top decks that you cannot beat, and then a lot of air.
Yeah.
So giving him a look at an extra card here is really dangerous. Like, when does the 3 damage matter in a spot where you aren't just overwhelmed?
Yeah.
It's a pass-fail test. It's not going to be like a tight damage race like that. I guess the 3 points might matter if Fronsee draws Basilisk Collar and then the game becomes about that. But that seems so much more or less likely than just, oh, I drew all his dust with the extra card you gave me, you're dead.
In for 4 in the air. Looks like here from Collins. Ghost Quarter, draw a card. Yeah, I'm not sure what he can find. Yeah, nothing he can find. So if he's just going to draw a Ghost Quarter that turn, Tron piece or not, doesn't matter. Obviously,
the difference is basically if you complete Tron, Ulamog is a draw. If you don't complete Tron, and you get Seagate Wreckage instead, you are drawing to something small that might give you another turn. I think the only card in the deck that qualifies is Basilisk Collar, the 1 copy. So it's thin either way.
Sideboards here for both players. We are going to start with Adam Fronsee. He's got 2 Blight Herders, 2 Sorcerer Spyglass, 2 Ratchet Bomb, 2 Warping Will, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Relic Progenitus, a Witchbane Orb, a Surgical Extraction, and another copy of Basilisk Collar. I actually think the last card is the best one. I mean, I guess Ratchet Bomb's pretty good.
Yeah, Ratchet Bomb seems great, and the 1 copy of Basilisk Collar. Not a whole lot to bring in here, but I think both of those cards are very good for managing the board and managing the damage race.
For Collins Mullen, he's got 2 Zathru Necromancer, 2 Aethersworn Canonist, 2 Vithian Renegades, 2 Fiend Hunter, 2 Izzet Static Caster, 2 Tireless Tracker, a Reflector Mage, a Mirror Crusader, and an Anafense of the Foremost.
The 1 copy of Reflector Mage and the 2 copies of Fiend Hunter seem very good here, and I actually like the Anafense. I think Mullen really needs to put a premium on just size to mana cost, and Anafense is an improvement over some of the smaller creatures in the deck.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, it's just all about clock.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about just trying to kill the opponent as fast as possible. The disruption in Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, and Kitesail Freebooter, who, we briefly thought took anything, but only really take spells, those cards aren't going to be game winners like they are against Storm.
Exactly. And I think the smaller creatures that are on the ground that aren't particularly disruptive, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, Meddling Mage, I think those are the ones that are likely to be cut. I like the flyers. I like things that are big for their mana cost, but some of the more fidgety utility creatures I just don't think are well suited for this type of matchup.
Well, before we go to game number 2, Adam Fronsee will be on the plate for that second game that we're about to watch here before we close out our first day of coverage. We're going to talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page. It is very popular with over 125,000 subscribers. We have all of you to thank for that, and we got a lot of stuff on there.
You can subscribe today over at youtube.com/StarCityGames. Archives of all sorts of videos are up there, including Split Second Versus Series, Commander Versus, Magic Online playtesting, Best of SCG Tour, and much more. Again, you can subscribe today for free over at youtube.com/StarCityGames and get notified when new content is uploaded to the page.
Game number 2 going to be underway here in just a moment between Collins Mullen and Adam Fronsee. That deck tech with Collins is definitely something you're going to want to watch, as he kind of went over the ins and outs and what have yous of his take on humans. This 5-color deck, you know, a lot of people have been talking about humans recently in the metagame, what it looks like, what it can be, a lot of different questions about this strategy. And now we're actually seeing it in action. You know, a lot of people have talked about Nightfall and, you know, that Reliquary Retreat, Knight of the Reliquary deck that is a combo. And the fact that Spell Queller, even though it's not a human, very good in that strategy. Here, you see Collins Mullen with a deck with basically all spells. Excuse me, all creatures, no spells outside of Ether Vial. Some 5-color lands and Cavern of Souls, Ancient Ziggurat, and Unclaimed Territory means that casting these humans is very easy. A couple of fetch lands, stuff like that. But even his sideboard, 15 creatures.
Yeah. I mean, once you're on Ancient Ziggurat, it doesn't give you a whole lot of room to do anything else.
Yeah, you are making it known what you are trying to do. That is for sure. And thus far, 8-0. Not a blemish on that record there for Collins Mullen. For Adam Fronsee, something much more traditional. Wasn't a traditional deck a year ago. It is traditional now, however. And it's a good one there in Eldrazi-tron. Very powerful deck, but it was kind of weird to watch a game in which Thought Not Seer, Fronsee drew 3 copies, and they basically did nothing.
It was Champion of the Parish.
Yeah.
It was the biggest thing on the battlefield. And some other things were going on in the game. Fronsee never found a big payoff card, and Mullen had some aggression in the air that Fronsee couldn't really manage. But to me, it just came down to Champion of the Parish, came down early, allowed Mullen to get in some really good pressure early on in the game. And then later on, when he was finishing things off in the air, was larger, preventing Fronsee from being able to crack back.
So game number 2 will be underway here. One of these players is going to sit on top of the standings at the conclusion of this round. They'll be your 9-0. Either way, win or loss for each one of these players. In great position for day number 2 here in Cincinnati. Wouldn't be surprised to see either or both into the top 8 tomorrow afternoon.
And the more that I'm thinking about it, I think the more that I like Fronsee's play, because you're basically looking at one copy of, well, it's confusing. Because it's not just, do you draw the one Ulamog or do you top deck a Basilisk Caller? In the latter scenarios, it's you top deck a Basilisk Caller and you still have Seagate Wreckage in play. You might draw something on the follow-up.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I dislike about Fronsee's play is that you're cutting yourself off of drawing Walking Ballista.
No, you're right. Yeah, with Ballista in the mix, I think then you just assemble Tron.
Yeah.
Because you actually make a 5/5 and then you kill Manus Rider and then the next turn
you kill Manus Rider, you kill Freebooter maybe. Like if you have to, because your life total's high enough you can take a hit, and then you start dumping mana.
Yeah, I think with Walking Ballista in the equation, yeah, you're just supposed to assemble Tron and have one draw step.
Looks like Adam's not happy with that hand. Looks like Collins is happy with his hand. So, gonna go down to 6 here in just a moment. Will Adam Fronsee. Well, we mentioned that both players are in day number 2 already. One's going to be on top of the standings. And we take a look at what these players are playing for here this week, and you see first place, $5,000, 30 SCG points, and invite to our Season 2 Invitational in Roanoke, Virginia. Second place, $2,000, 25 SCG points, and invite to that Invitational. If they make top 8, they'll be going. We already know Collins will be going. He's qualified. And then top 16, top 32, top 64, so on and so forth. Some healthy money on the line here in Cincinnati. And again, both these players will be definitely playing for it tomorrow. Would not be a surprise to see a deep run from either one of them. And again, one of them is going to be sitting on top of the standings at the conclusion of this match. You see Fronsee taking a mulligan here. Collins Mullen happy. Fronsee going back down again to 5. And this one could be over before it even begins, Patrick.
A very quick roll of the eyeballs there from Adam as he sent that one back.
Did not like what he saw with that particular hand, not one bit. Now, this is a deck in Eldrazi-tron, like most Tron decks, that actually does mulligan relatively well.
Yes.
You know, it's not hard to put the Tron together in a lot of instances. If you're able to put the Tron together, you just move on from there. you can do some very powerful things.
And especially when you have something like Walking Ballista plus Basilisk Collar as part of your options. If you're able to assemble that, it doesn't really matter how low you go on cards. Mullen is going to be hard pressed to beat that setup.
Yeah. Fronsee looking for 5. Doesn't look like he loves it, but he might be forced to keep it. Boy. Down to 4 we go. Fronsee, a veteran of the game, been playing a long time, and this is just something that happens sometimes.
Don't like it at 8-0.
Don't like it anytime,
Right.
but definitely don't like it at 8-0.
Better than 8-0 than 0-0, though.
Or 0-8.
Well, at that point, you're free rolling, as it were.
Four cards. How good you running? Well, a shrug, a sigh, a scry to the bottom. That's all you can do. If it starts with Tron, anything could happen. I will say that. That's a start.
He's got Reality Smasher and a Matter Reshaper, I think. So if
Yeah.
he draws an Eldrazi Temple, just going.
All right, he's going to have to pass, however.
Fifty and Raider, you're Matt.
You're a maniac. Cavernous Souls. Gonna tap for some mana here. There's a Champion of the Parish. There's a Kitesail Freebooter. Take a look at the hand. Batterskull. Endbringer. Matter Reshaper. Look, if he draws a Tron piece, it's actually a game.
Yep.
That's a map.
But I agree. I mean, if you've had mana that turn,
Yeah.
we're playing.
Yep. Reflector Mage means that this yeah, here's Mantis Rider. You are singing and no one can hear you. No one can hear you.
Just thinking to myself.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
About Adam being stalled on mana and then having his one play bounce back to his hand for 2 turns.
Yeah. He's just going to pass the turn back. We don't know if he's ever even going to get to make a play this game.
Just reflecting on Reflector Mage a little.
We'll go to Collins. Some of the Cavernous Souls here naming human, of course. Thalia's Lieutenant is going to make this game over pretty quick, my friend.
Yes.
One thing about this Humans deck, I will give it credit for. It can close out, I think, a little bit faster than even you and I thought.
Definitely. I mean, especially post-board, I mean, you just cut all the disruption that doesn't do anything, and you can become just speed and presence on the battlefield and some Reflector Mages. It's a good setup.
The follow-up is a Vial on a passing of the turn. Fronsee probably not going to draw that second land, and he will not. It's a card liberated. It's a bunch of colorless cards he can't cast. Collins Mullen is going to win this game and match over Adam Fronsee. 2-0. Humans, yes, humans, of all shapes and sizes. 9-0 here in Cincinnati.